Okay, in this video we're going to do more of using the Unix shell. I'm going to go into my terminal and log in. Okay, so we'll go through some more commands. Okay, so clears the screen. The way the terminal works, it just prints to the screen as you do things, and if you want to clear it out, I can still browse up with my mouse to see what was printed before. In the Mac terminal on the PuTTY, once you clear, it's off the screen. So another command is pwd, which stands for print working directory. The way the 151 accounts are set up, that'll be printed here anyway, but sometimes it may not be. So here I have a terminal that's on my Mac, and it's not printing the directory. So if I do pwd, I would see that's the directory that this terminal is in before I log into CS. Okay, so that's print working directory to see where you are. Man is a command for manual, and I can do man and then some command. The commands that we've been using, for example, I can do man pwd, and that shows help information on the pwd, and oftentimes there will be options. Not anything exciting there on the pwd command. I could do man with ls, that's the list directory contents command, and now there's going to be a lot of options here. The -l option should be there for listing details. There's -l, long listing format. Another option that I tend to use is -t, so sort by modified time with the newest first, but then if I do -r, it'll actually reverse that. And another option I tend to use a lot is -h, and these are in alphabetical order, so human readable sizes. So instead of saying 1,000, it'll say 1K, megabyte and gigabyte. And while I'm looking at this manual here, you can see I'm using my arrows here to go up and down, and it's printing down here the line number. I'm on so many lines, and then when I don't want to look at this anymore, how do you stop it? There's a Q, so I'm going to press Q now. That stops the manual. Now ls-l gives a list. /l-t sorts them by modified time with the newest first. ls-l-t-r reverses the sort order, so now it's newest on the bottom. So it looks like I have to do the R there. Right, newest on the bottom. That's okay. So, okay, -r and then -h would be human readable. So that says 4K instead of 4096. And actually can put them all together, ls-ltrh. That's not always true for every command, but for these ones, I can just put them all together. And I made a note of that because I use that so often, ls-ltrh. And I'll clear the screen with clear. Alright, if we look at let me pause for a second. Okay, we'll do a few other commands that are on the list here. More and less. So if I have a file called hello2.txt, I want to look inside that to see what it is. On your computer, if you had a text file, you would open it up in a text editor, Word or Notepad, or in on the Mac, TextEdit would open a text file. If we have the text file here, not a Word document, but a text file, I can look at the contents by saying more hello2.txt. It shows it there. There's the hello, and this is a description that I'm using. It's actually using the less program, and I have a queue to quit. Less hello2.txt will show the same. They're actually doing the same thing there. Okay, so more and less both use queue to quit. Alright, let's take a look at our quick reference card. So we have ls, and there's options. There's cd to change directory, mkdir to make a new directory, mrdir we haven't done, but I have my notes directory. And it doesn't, the remove directory wants the directory to be empty. And there's the help information. So if I want it to be empty, then I need to go and remove each file. And notice you have to be very careful with the remove command because it's not asking for confirmation by default. You can make it so that it does, but we'll leave it like that for now. So now I can remove the notes directory. Okay, so we'll add that to our list. mkdir and remove dir is remove directory. Copy mv is for move. We don't have that. Copy a file, put it here, mv for move file. That actually does a similar thing as the copy. So if I want to move hello.txt into the desktop directory, I can do it like this. Like a few other notes of special symbols and control. So up arrow goes to last run command. So if I'm over here and I press up, what is it going to do? So it automatically fills in that command, and I can go up multiple times. It's not running the command until I press enter. Okay, so that's up, and tab tries to autocomplete. So I'm in my, let's go in my desktop directory. I have a hello and I have a hello2. If I say less he, it'll try to autocomplete that name. And what will it get to? So it cycles through the possible options. So he is just what I typed, and you could complete that either to hello2 or hello. Now if there's something that doesn't autocomplete, it's not going to do anything. Okay, so those are good for saving you some time. And I could clear. Okay. Let's see how we're doing on time. We'll look at these file permissions. Okay, if you do the detail list, the permissions for the file are here. Okay, so the first, let's make a copy back into the root. So we have a directory and we have a file. So for a directory, when you print the details, there will be a D for directory. And then the next 9 characters displayed here are the permissions. Who's allowed to access this file? So first it displays the owner, that's me. So CS15139 is allowed to read, write, and try to execute this file. Executing the file doesn't make any sense because it's a text file, but those are the permissions you can try. And then the next are for the group. So the group that my account is in is the class group. and all the class accounts are actually in that group. So right now the way it is, any class account could change that file, has permission. And if I say ls-l, let's go back. So if I type ls here, what am I going to see? I should see this directory, but then I should also see all the class accounts. So those are all the class accounts, and if I do ls-l on those, every class account actually currently has read and write access to every other class account. We'll probably fix that. So let's go back into my home directory. So that's the way it is right now, and then the last three is read, write, and execute permissions for everyone else. So first you have owner, the user, and then the group that owns the file, and then everyone else. So if I have these last three, then there's no permissions for anybody except for class users. The desktop directory is read and execute without write permissions. For a directory, the R means you can list the contents of the directory. The W would mean that you can add a new file or remove a file. And the X would mean that you can go into the directory. Okay, so for directories, R is for listing the contents, R permission. W is for creating a new file or removing a file, and X is for going into the directory. So for example, I can go into jkinney, the home directory. I can make that my current directory, but I can't list the contents. So that means that the X, it's executable, it has that bit that means you can go into it, but you can't actually look at what's there. The command for changing these is chmod. You could look at the help for chmod, but I'll give you a few quick examples. Okay, so chmod changes the directory permissions. So if I want to make it so that the CS15139 is not writable by the class, I would say group minus W and then dot. Dot is for the current directory. Dot is a shortcut for the current directory. Okay, so the directory that I'm in, which is my home directory, I want to look at the group access and I want to subtract the W. Okay, so now if I go back, ls-l for all the class accounts, I look at the one for 150.139, there's no W there, so you guys cannot change my directory now. And I'm going to go ahead and change all of those. So I want to make all of those so they're not writable by chmod group minus W star. Okay, and I have access to do that in my jkinney account. I don't have access to do that if I'm using one of the class accounts. So I should see that as an update now. Okay, so I'm in my class account now. This file is still rwx from the group, so I could say chmod group minus rwx hello.txt. So that takes away read, write, and execute from the group. Now if I want to add back read access for everyone, I could say g for group, O for other, plus R. I could also say chmod A is for everyone, so it sets all the permissions the same. So I could say plus X, hello.txt. So that put the execute for all three. A is for user, group, other. So something that you will, common example for chmod, you'll do chmod A minus, let's see, group other minus RWX. So that would takes away permissions from everyone except the user that owns the file. That's a common one. You may also do chmod A plus RX star gives read and execute permissions to everyone to every file in the current directory. And I should add the star there to our list of special symbols. So star, when there should be a file name, means everything. You can also use this, so if I do copy hello.txt, hello2.txt, I could say ls-l hello.txt. That shows me just hello. I could do ls-l star, that shows everything. I could do ls-l, so here you can see the star, it showed me first hello and hello2, and then it showed me the desktop directory. I could also do h star, which means it starts with an H and then anything else. I can also use star as part of a file name. That means anything for that part. So I could also do ls-l star.txt. That would be anything that ends in .txt. Example, ls-l star.txt. Okay. Other things on the quick reference. I think we pretty much got most everything. There's a tree command is kind of useful. Let me clear the screen. You just type tree, it shows a tree view of the directory. So inside of my directory, if I do ls, there's desktop, and inside of the desktop there are files called hello and hello2, and then inside of my home directory there are also files called hello and hello2. So that gives a nice view of all your files. Or you could do all your files in a certain directory. Okay, I think that's enough. We did more commands and also talking about file permissions and directory permissions.